All right. Let's start. Okay. Sorry, just a minute. One second, you guys, okay? Okay, yeah. All right, so ده مش طالع. All right. All right, so today we will be doing unit 4, which is the last unit. Okay, we have it in 2 parts. Today we will do part 1, and next week will be the last class, and we will do part 2. Okay, so unit 4 talks about simultaneous interpreting. You remember we took before. Consecutive interpreting, and now we will take simultaneous interpreting. طيب, what's the difference between consecutive and simultaneous interpreting? Yes, Noor.
Simultaneous interpreting, the interpreters interpret at the same time as the spoilers at the speaker.
Exactly. So simultaneous from the name. Okay, it happens at the same time that the speaker is speaking. Okay, while consecutive.
The speaker pauses.
Go, Yasmin. Okay, so consecutive and interpreter. I like this expression. Here's our listens to a chunk of speech, okay? Take notes and then give his or her interpretation, okay? All right, good job. So, as we said, what is the simultaneous interpreting? It's a specialized form of interpreting, like consecutive, interpreting, okay? It's a real-time translation while speaker is talking. So simultaneous interpreting is even harder than consecutive interpreting, okay? Because consecutive, we said that the interpreter takes some time. He or she listens and then interprets, okay? However, in simultaneous, it's a real-time translation at the same time of the speaker, okay? So they have fragments of seconds to start interpreting. One of the most demanding linguistic tasks. Why do you think it's one of the most demanding? شيء demanding تتطلب جهد ماله كبير in the linguistic realm. Okay, طيب why? Why does it demand lots of, why is it a very demanding task in terms of linguistics?
Because he has to interpret in another language, another culture, so he has to be specific.
Exactly. One of them is that since they are interpreting in another language, as you said, to another culture, they need to be quick on the spot to switch between one language into another. Why else?
Not all.
Yes, it's hard. So not all interpreter could do simultaneous interpreting.
Because any mistake can change the meaning.
Exactly. Any linguistic mistake can and will change the meaning.
Also, he must have speaking fluency.
The interpreter must have speaking fluency. And this is aside the mental stress, right? That they need to exert in order to stay focused. The change, for example, of the speaker's pace, okay, they have to follow them, all right? If a speaker deviates from the original script or what they want to say, they have to follow them, okay? They have to be real quick in giving the interpreting that has shifted, okay? So mental stress, linguistic stress, all of these have an impact on why simultaneous interpreting is a demanding task, okay? Especially in the linguistic side. All right, and finally, simultaneous is different from consecutive because it only has 2 to 3 seconds delay. All right. So when the speaker starts speaking, the interpreter has only 2 to 3 seconds to start speaking in the other language. It's not like the consecutive, where you can wait up to a minute for the speaker to speak, take note, and then you can speak. Okay? So that's why it is hard to do simultaneous interpreting. But what are the core elements of simultaneous interpreting? There are 3 core elements. We have simultaneity اللي هي التتابعية الفورية، اوكي، مش التتابعية الوقتية ولكن التتابعية الفورية. Accuracy الدقة و speed. أو بالأحرى simultaneous interpreter need to have speed, okay? He or she need to be fast when delivering the interpreting text or the interpreted text. Okay. What are the key characteristics of simultaneous interpreting? As we said, real-time processing. It is done at the same time of the speaker. Multitasking requirement. What do you think is a multitasking requirement?
Able to listen, speak,
Process. They don't write. Yeah. Being able to listen, process, and speak. That's why it's multitasking. Okay? High cognitive load. What does cognitive mean? إدراك. Okay? So there is a load on your memory to remember the words, to remember the expressions, okay? Because it's done on the spot. So you have to remember and remember and remember. You cannot stop. If you stop, you lose what the speaker is saying, okay? You lose a chunk of what is being said, or you will be delayed when giving the interpreting. Okay? All right. Right. There are some technical aspects, like what are the equipments needed? Do you remember what the consecutive interpreter's equipment is? Yes? Pen, paper, headphones, microphone. Sometimes they have monitors, they have computers, okay? But what are the equipment of a simultaneous interpreter? We have soundproof booth, okay? هلا تقريبا both or interpreting jobs, except for those interpreters who sit near you, like whispering interpreting, okay? They need an isolated space. شو يعني isolated? منعزل. That they can hear without having noises. All right? So that's why they need soundproof. لازم لهم بوث بدون صوت يدخل عليهم لا يقدروا يركزوا. Professional headphones, of course, microphone system, okay? طبعا, you know that while the speaker or while the interpreter is interpreting the audience, they have headphones, okay, or earphones. They have them on their ears, okay? So they can hear the interpretation. Have you ever been to any conference or foreign conference or international conference? قبل هيك? No? طيب, have you ever seen the equipment or have you ever seen on TV people sitting with some earphones in their ears, right? These are the equipment that the audience need in order to hear the interpreter in their ears. اوكي طيب of course طبعا في channels يكون عندهم زي MP4 او MP3 or whatever it is شو اسمه they switch channels and these channels hold many interpreters in different languages. You switch the channel until you find your language, okay, with the person interpreting. طبعا the interpreters are sitting in booths in the same conference hall, all right? Each one has its own frequency channel that is transmitted to this box that the audience is holding, okay? And if I speak Japanese, for example, I tune into the Japanese interpreter. If I speak Arabic, I tune into the Arabic interpreter, okay? So sometimes our big conferences like UN conferences and so on, they have up to 20 interpreters in the hall, okay? Because they need to translate or interpret into the different languages of the world's nations. Okay? طيب قلنا microphone system, transmission equipment. This is the one I am talking about. It's within the booth and on the ears of the audience. Okay? And receiver for audience. So we have soundproof booth, we have professional headphones, we have mics, we have transmitters from the booth, and we have receivers like boxes, all right, with earphones to the audience, with the audience, okay? Right. Where is the simultaneous interpreting used? International conferences, United Nations, European parliaments, business meetings, court proceedings. Why do they need simultaneous interpreting in court proceedings?
There might be formats. Their
Language, yeah.
So they must interpret for them what is saying to understand what's going to happen to them.
Exactly. So in court, there are, for example, if we take the US as an example, since they have people from all over the world, okay? Mostly, for example, let's say that they have Mexicans coming to the US, okay? Sometimes these people get into trouble with law, all right? They go to court, but they don't speak English. They speak Spanish, okay, or Mexican. So they need an interpreter in the court, and this one is called a legal interpreter, okay? Sometimes they are students of law, and they take courses in interpreting, okay? To be able to interpret to the شو بسموهم defendant, okay, what is happening in court. So they speak Spanish, or they translate or interpret what the judge or the other advocates tell in English, they interpret it in Spanish, and vice versa. They interpret the defendant's answer in English to the court, okay? And this is very important since there are lots of migrants and refugees, exactly, whether in Europe or in the US, okay? All right, quiz. Okay, which setting would be most appropriate for simultaneous interpreting, and why? Which one of these is most likely to need simultaneous interpreting? Is it a one-on-one medical consultation? B, a multinational conference with 200 attendees? C, a police interview? Or D, a small business negotiation? What do you think?
I guess
B? Why? Just because there are 200 attendees?
no. Because
Because it could be, yes, it is a multinational conference. What do you think, Sabaya, with me online?
B.
B? Yes, it is B, okay? Multinational or large conferences. It's ideal for simultaneous interpreting because there are multiple languages that are needed, many listeners, and it's a formal setting, and there is available infrastructure to do that, okay? Because we need transmitters and we need receivers for the audience. So a big hall that is already equipped with these equipments can use simultaneous interpreting. Right. Why can't we use simultaneous interpreting for the one-on-one medical consultancy?
Because while the doctor is speaking, you need to remember what he's actually saying.
Exactly.
Maybe some word.
This is emotional. Oh.
It's a technical, it's a more technical proceeding, okay? When you talk to a doctor that is talking to a patient, so you need to understand what the doctor is saying and remember it, take note, and then translate it or interpret it to the patient, right? Type a police interview. Why can't it be a simultaneous interpreting setting? Same, right? They need to understand why the police is investigating or interviewing this person, right? They need to listen and then to interpret the whatever they are saying, okay? And the small business negotiation, same thing. They need to understand what are the terms of the negotiation in order to translate it to the other party, okay? All right, good job. There are basic principles of simultaneous interpreting. Your book doesn't talk a lot about them, okay? They mention them. So you just learn them as they come, okay? So, what are the basic principles of simultaneous interpreting? عندنا syntactic linearity. شو يعني syntactic linearity؟ شو يعني linear؟
Okay.
خطي, okay? So what does that syntactic linearity mean? Try to stretch your brains a little bit. And what do we know about translation, whether it's interpreting or translation as written translation? What does syntactic mean? Syntactic, you guys. Yes. يعني قواعد خطية. يعني simultaneous interpreting should be in line with the grammar and structure of the language they are interpreting in. مش حكينا whether it's interpreting or translation, whatever type of translation it is, even if it is literal translation, it should be in line with the structure and the grammar of the target language. Same goes for simultaneous interpreting. Exactly. وتكون natural. Okay? تكون structured. يعني the famous example that I always give, English start with SVO, Arabic start with VSO, verb, subject, object, okay? Syntactic linearity, يعني بالتوازي مع أو بالتوافق مع أو in line with the Arabic or the target language structure, okay? طيب, adjustments. Adjustments to what? Oh my God, you guys! صحصحوا. Adjustment. They need adjustment. When you do simultaneous interpreting, if you fail to understand a word, for example, you have to do some adjustments so that you do not waste time when you translate, okay? Yani if you're translating and the speaker says a word or an expression that you don't know, you need to adjust your interpreting in order to go with the flow, okay? To not cut the sentence with so that no one can understand it, okay? Right. Anticipation. Predicting what?
Well, the speaker is about to say.
Exactly. هلا. Whomever does, whether it's consecutive interpreting, simultaneous interpreting, whispering interpreting, telephone interpreting, whichever it is, they always need to request the script beforehand, okay? If it's a really important event, like a business meeting, like a big conference, whatever it is, all the interpreters need to have these speeches beforehand so that they can study them, they can do the research. Okay? Hala. Why? In order to anticipate any deviation from the original script. Okay? They have to be ready through their research beforehand, okay, in order to anticipate any deviation or anything that could get out of the original script. Okay, fine. Reformulation, re-expressing the original speech into the target language. Simplification,
Saying the percentage and the simple way.
exactly, because we don't have time as a simultaneous interpreter and we need to speak directly with the speaker. We need to simplify any expression or sentences that he or she, the original speaker, is using, okay? In order to what? To be able to follow the speaker at his or her own speed. Okay? طيب. Faithfulness, fidelity, exactly. Yes, we are simplifying. Yes, we are reformulating what it is said. Okay? ولكن the meaning needs to be the same.
What we change.
All right? We do not change the meaning of any of the speaker's text or speech. All right? So that's why it should be faithful. Otherwise, the speaker will be saying something and we will be interpreting something else. Okay? So these are the principles of simultaneous interpreting. All right, syntactic linearity, breaking down complex sentences, okay? Managing word order differences, LBO, VSO, all right? Restructuring on the fly, شو يعني on the fly? عالطاير, yes, عالسريع, okay? So you have to reformulate or restructure the sentence as you go along, all right? Because in simultaneous interpreting, you can't wait. Yalla. Sentence segmentation. Try to break these sentences into manageable units so that you can, when you listen, an interpreter, when listening to a sentence, he or she breaks it into chunks in order to remember them on the spot and translate them after. Okay? So we have this long sentence. Try to see how you can break this sentence into chunks in order to remember it easily. Despite the economic challenges facing global markets in recent months, our company has maintained steady growth through strategic investments and careful planning. Try to chunk it into multiple fragments, okay? So that you can easily remember each chunk and interpret it on the spot. Yeah. Yes. Chunk it. يعني you don't need to write all the sentence بس حطوا آخر كلمة where you think you can chunk it. Okay? This is a compound sentence, right? We have an independent clause and we have a main clause. Where is the main clause? Our company. And the independent clause, the dependent, sorry, despite. Done? صبايا اللي معي online done? طيب نرسيان go ahead.
1. Despite the economic challenges facing global markets in recent months. Number 2. Our company has maintained steady growth. Number 3. Through strategic investments. Number 4. And careful planning.
Okay, so you took the first one as one chunk?
Yes.
Okay, طيب, this is one way. Yes, Bayan.
Despite the economic challenges of Moscow,
Okay, chunk.
facing global markets,
Another chunk.
in recent months and later, our company obtained proposal.
In recent month, our company ولا in recent month chunk? Chunk. Okay.
Our company obtained the chunk.
Okay.
Has maintained
Another one.
has maintained steady growth.
Has maintained steady growth. One chunk. Okay.
Strategic investments chunk. بعدين كمان.
And careful planning. Another chunk. So you have one.
نفس الشيء بس أول مرة جيت يعني.
Family. So you have 7.
7.
Yeah. Okay. 7 chunks. All right. Yes, Noor. Okay. One. Let's say 1. All right.
Global market.
2. Facing global markets in recent months.
3.
3. Until growth.
And 4. Strategic investment. And 4. And careful planning.
Okay, 4 through strategic investment and 5 careful planning. All right. So, are you correct or are you not correct? Exactly. It depends. There is no wrong answer. Okay. It depends on how the interpreter wants to chunk the information in order to save it or remember it. Okay. So you can go, as you said, despite the economic challenges, 1, facing global market in recent months, 2, Our company has maintained steady growth 3 through strategic investment 4 and careful planning. Another one could be like Bayan, they need more little chunks in order to remember, or they could have a very good memory like Nirsian, and don't need, and the first sentence could be easy for them to remember, so they don't need to chunk it down, okay? So it depends on the interpreter's memory, all right? Good. Adjustment. We adjust what? What do we amend? What do we correct? We adjust word order differences, okay? Cultural references, يعني instead of saying, if someone is saying a cat with 9 lives, we do not translate it بسب 9 أرواح, we translate it بسب 7 أرواح, okay? Because ours has only 7 lives, all right? Idiomatic expressions, grammar structures, okay? So, for example, as we said, the most famous one, SVO in English, BSO adaptation in Arabic. The president attended the meeting, subject, the president. Verb, attended the meeting, object. In Arabic, it will be the verb first, حضر الرئيس الاجتماع. حضر is the verb, الرئيس اللي هو السبجكت الفاعل، والاجتماع هو المفعول به. Okay? The object. All right. Anticipation. Anticipation comes from context understanding. I know that as an interpreter, I am here to interpret something about, let's say, climate change, the environment, okay? So before going to do this interpreting job, I know that the speakers are 1, 2, 3. I know that they will do this and this and that. I know that they will talk about the following, since I have the scripts, I have the presentations, okay? I can translate these. However, if for any reason, one of them wants to add something, okay, I need to have the necessary prior information. يعني prior مسبقة, exactly. Prior information through research that I did before going to the interpreting task, okay? So context understanding, I need to understand what is being said through the context of the subject being presented, okay? pattern recognition, تذكروا أخذناها هاي في الجزء الأول في النص الأول. Pattern recognition, I know that they will talk about environment. The environment is linked to the challenges. The challenges are linked to the results. Results are linked to mitigating these challenges, okay? So I need to know what will be said in a pattern that is easier for me to interpret, okay? Cultural knowledge, of course, I need to have cultural knowledge about the subject that I am going to interpret, and subject expertise. That's why an interpreter's job is not easy, because they need to do lots of research on the subject they are going to interpret. Okay? For reformulation, and this comes, as we said, or as we saw before, as paraphrasing. What does paraphrasing mean? إعادة صياغة, exactly. Compression. شو يعني compression? شو يعني to compress? Compress. لا. ضغط. اوكي؟ شو يعني هون compression؟ تقليص. اوكي؟ تقليص المعلومة لشيء مفهوم. What else? Expansion. توسيع المعلومة. Okay? Give an explanation, for example. مش حكينا if an interpreter doesn't or can't translate, for example, a specific culture-bound expression, he needs to find either an alternative or equivalent expression in the Arabic language, for example, okay? If he or she cannot find this expression, they need to give what? Expand on it, give a definition or a meaning to this expression in order for the audience to understand it, okay? And generalization, to summarize exactly, or to give what we call a general expression, okay? Yani if I cannot find an equivalent, if I don't have a definition, I can use an alternative general term. Or as Noor said, something as giving a summary. All right? Yeah. Reformulation challenge. Transform these complex statements into simpler versions while maintaining the meaning. في عنا جمل 3 جمل. They are complex. Give me another version that is simpler. يلا. أول واحدة, let's do the first one. Okay, the implementation of the aforementioned protocol necessitates careful consideration of multiple socio-economic factors. طيب شو يعني protocols؟ شو يعني؟ Protocols are the steps that needs to be done that are standard for something, okay? يعني everyone needs to do them. طيب شو يعني aforementioned؟ مذكورة سابقا. طيب necessitate careful consideration. الأخذ بعين الاعتبار. Yes. Socio-economic factor. These are two words in one. Social and economic. شو يعني factors؟ عوامل. So ايش اللي مش فاهمينها فيها؟ مدامكم عارفين كل معاني الكلمات اللي موجودة، ايش اللي مش فاهمينه؟
دكتورة ما في صوت.
ما في صوت لأنه سكتنا.
اوكي.
Oops, sorry. Just a second, sorry. Okay. طب يا انتوا شايفين ايش الجواب؟
لا هو مبين بس صغير يعني ما بنقرأه.
ما بتقرأوه؟ اوكي طيب. عارفة ليش عم تطلع السلايد كلها ما عادة بتطلعش؟ اوبس.
After 6 months.
يا غشاشين.
لا شكرا طلع فاضي.
منيحكم بتشوفوش. طيب عملتوا أول وحدة؟ طيب let's hear it. يلا. مين بدها تجرب؟ يلا نرسم.
To follow these protocols, we need to carefully think about different social and economic factors.
To follow these protocols, we need to think about
Think carefully about different social and economic factors.
different social and economic factors. Okay, Noor.
Implementing the protocols should take into consideration various social and economic factors.
To implement these protocols,
Should implementing the protocols
implementing the protocols
should take into consideration
should take into consideration various social and economic factors. في حدا عنده أي other version? No? Yes, Yasmin? إيش إيش؟ Okay, the implementation of protocols which is set. It's not correct. Aforementioned said protocol. The implementation of said protocols needs careful consideration of social and economic factors. يعني انتوا خففتوا من كلمة aforementioned protocols إذا ما حدا بيعرفها كان لازم تفكروا فيها مثلا. اوكي. Careful necessitate careful consideration. It's a big one. Yes, Mariam.
The mentioned steps is important in the social and economic.
Implementing the mentioned steps is important
The social and economic.
In the social and economic factors. Yes, this is a little bit simpler. Okay. All right. طيب الثاني. Following extensive bilateral negotiation. شو يعني bilateral? Two parties between the participating nations throughout the past 6 months. Both countries have finally reached a groundbreaking agreement. شو يعني groundbreaking؟ اتفاقية مالها؟ خلص مؤكد exactly. on environmental protection and sustainable development. So, extensive bilateral negotiations is a complex expression. Try to make it simpler, okay? Throughout the past 6 months, the groundbreaking agreement on environmental protection and sustainable development. Make it reformulate it in a way that is simpler than the complex version of it. Okay, use simpler words. يعني إذا أنتم بدكم تحكوا هذا الخبر لحدا من زملائكم، شو الكلمات اللي رح تستخدموها؟ هل حتستخدموا bilateral negotiation, ground break, شو اسمه breaking agreement and so on and so forth؟ إذا عم تحكوا مع حدا من زملائكم بدك تعقدي حياة زميلك اللي عم تحكي معه بهاي الاكسبريشن. sustainable development. شو يعني sustainable development؟ أخذناها امبارح على فكرة sustainable. تطور مستدام sustainable. Okay, for the future يعني it will last a lot. Do not use your phone بيان.
والله العظيم في حريق في البيرة.
في حريق؟
في البيرة. كذي بدأ.
هذيك فيها محطة البنزين صح؟ بعد الشر. يلا.
No, we have بس كان بس أجل لا لو تكفيها شكلها بسيطة ترى خلصت
خلصتوا؟
أنا خلصت
يلا. بيان.
Okay. أخذت أول جملة بالإنجليزي. After 6 months of negotiation between the two parties negotiating. After 6 months of negotiating between the two parties, they have finally reached to a permanent solution about the environment protection.
reached up without to. reached a permanent solution بدون كلمة to.
Okay. Reached a permanent solution about the environment protection and a lasting development.
Okay. Could be, but sustainable development is a known term. It's not complex. Okay, يعني it's part of the vocabulary for environmental protection and أو يعني شو اسمه اللي بيستخدموه للديفلوبمنت بشكل عام في المشاريع في البيئة في هاي الأمور. Okay. Okay, not bad. Yes, this is a more simpler way to state this sentence. حدا عنده إشي تاني أو بده يشاركنا؟ نيرسيان.
After 6 months of talk, the two countries
After 6 months of talks,
the two countries have made an important deal about protecting the environment and supporting sustainable development.
good. This is another simpler way of formulating the sentence. هذا عنده أي version? Yes, Miriam.
6 months, both parties have agreed about environmental rules and sustainable development.
Good. This is another simpler way to state the sentence. Very nicely put, you guys. طيب آخر واحدة. Despite initial market volatility شو يعني؟ لا volatility يعني ما فيش استقرار. اوكي؟ غير مستقر يعني volatility. And investor uncertainty شو يعني uncertainty؟ غير مؤكدة. Yes. أو غير أو هن they are not certain of wanting to invest, for example. Okay. During the first quarter, the company's strategic restructuring initiative, يعني strategic restructuring initiative, استراتيجية إعادة الهيكلة. Okay. Combined with the favorable market conditions has resulted in a remarkable شو يعني remarkable؟ واضح ملحوظ. Yes. 45% increase in annual revenue. What is a revenue? عائد. Yes, good job. Business, huh? All right. Yalla, make this sentence a simpler sentence. Who is done? Try to look for the main sentence. Then you have two other sentences. You have an independent sentence and you have شو بسموها بالإنجليزي؟ جملة دخيلة. I forget the name. An additional sentence. Okay, so look for the main sentence, then the additional sentence and the dependent sentence in order to make a simpler form of sentence. Oops. وين المين sentence؟ يلا.
The company strategy.
The company strategic restructuring initiative مالها has resulted in a remarkable 45% increase in annual revenue. طيب, this is the main sentence. طيب, where is the additional sentence, additional information? Combined with the favorable market conditions, and where is the dependence despite initial market volatility. Type. Since you know all of these, what type of simpler sentence did you write? يلا يعني.
The company has
Fluctuations.
and investor uncertainty during the last quarter of the year. The result was an 45% increase in annual revenue.
Okay, your simpler sentence is longer than the original sentence. Okay, but you used simpler vocabulary. Yes, Mariam.
Company strategy restructuring initiative and the market condition has resulted in a notable increase in annual incomes about 45%, even though they were uncertain during this first quarter due to the market
Instability. But though your sentence is long, but using lesser complex vocabulary. Yes, Yasmin.
The company strategic restructuring
Initiative
joined with market condition has
joined with market conditions
has a 45% increase in annual.
has made بدك فعل has made 45% increase
annual
revenue,
although it was unclear in the
although it was unclear in the first quarter. طيب good. حدا عنده أي version تانية؟ No? Good job. All right. Let's see it. We need to think about how these rules will affect society and the economy. Okay? Simple. After 6 months of talks, في حدا فيكم حكى talks أظن أنت نرسيان ولا مين؟
Yes.
نرسيان. Yes. Both countries agreed on protecting the environment and promoting sustainable development. Okay? كل هالجبرش هذا مش محتاجينه. Despite a rough start in the first quarter, شو يعني rough؟ قاسي صح؟ The company's new structure and good market conditions helped increase yearly revenues by 45%. Okay? Think simple sentences. All right. Good job. Simplification. هدول وحدة من اللي حكيناهم اللي هن principles of simultaneous interpreting. Okay? Good job. والله هيكم مصحصحين معي اليوم. يلا. Technical terminology. Since we are sometimes talking to an audience that is not technically expert, okay, about the subject, but they are investors, for example, or they have an interest in a specific subject, they will not understand technical terminologies. So we need as interpreters to simplify كيف عملنا قبل شوي to simplify these terminologies for them. Okay? Complex numbers. We need to try and simplify all complex numbers. Okay? مثلا بدل ما نقول كذا كذا 1/10% من اللي بعرفش ايش كذا, we see there is approximately 2% أو 0.02% of this بدون 1/10% من الجزء الكذا. Okay? So we need to simplify it. We need to simplify long lists if they are not that relevant. يعني إذا قعد السبيكر يحكي we went to Sweden and Morocco and Tunisia and Italy and Spain and blah and blah and blah. Okay, so the interpreter can say we traveled around the world. Okay, like Spain, Morocco, and etc. and etc. Without stating the whole world. Okay. بعدين cultural references, as we said, because we are taking one culture into another culture. Okay, we need to simplify the original culture so as that the target culture can understand the meaning or the reference. Okay? Yeah. Simplification strategy. Which version is better for simultaneous interpreting? The gross domestic product showed a 3.752% increase in third quarter of 2023. Okay? Is it A, GDP rose about 3.8% last quarter, or the gross domestic product demonstrated a 3.752% increase in the third quarter of 2023. Why? Because it's shorter?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Because it's shorter. But مش بس because it's shorter. Why? We approximated the percentage. Instead of saying 3.752%, we said 3.5. You know that how to approximate, right? If we have any 5 and more, we give the one that is next. If it's 5 and less, we keep it as is. Okay? بعدين بدل ما نقول the third quarter of 2023 خلص last quarter. Okay?
امتحان بالنصف النهائي.
No.
عن جد؟
No.
شو بعطي مواد طيب؟
دكتور فاطمة.
اه؟
All right. So, simpler numbers, rounded figures were less detailed but maintained the meaning. Okay? Final one, I think it's faithfulness, right?
Yes.
All right. Final one, faithfulness. Faithfulness entails accuracy, الدقة. All right. Completeness, a complete thought.
Oh, okay.
مش بس sentence, it's a complete thought. Natural expression, ليش? Because the target audience need to understand the flow of the sentence, okay? Time constraints, since interpreting is very limited, is on the spot, so we are bound by time to provide a faithful rendering of the original speech, okay? Yeah. Progressive memory challenge. All right, you guys. No. Bizarre. Why? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. طيب. Open your recording apps, you guys. Open your recording apps. I will read the sentences. Okay? I will read them once at a normal speed. And you will wait just 3 seconds from my start. Oh, less than 3 seconds, يعني. And then you will interpret them in your target language. Okay? There are 4 levels of sentences. I will start with the easy one, and then we will build a more complex type of sentence. Okay? Yes. You will interpret in Arabic. I will speak it in English, and you interpret it in Arabic. All right. You want to scatter, scatter. لأنه هيك حتدخلوا في دينين بعض. ياسمين هاي محلك. بس احكوا شوي عالي عشان نسمع اللي عم تحكوه. انت ياسمين ما في مشكلة عندك، احنا بنسمع من هون. Which is good. اوكي يلا listen. اللي معاي اونلاين اعملوا نفس الشيء، اوكي؟ افتحوا شو اسمه؟
ترجمة حلوة. الترجمة للحين.
ترجمة مش shadow interpreting. It's an interpreting in your language. Okay? يلا. Ready? Steady? Go. The conference begins next week. Level 2. International delegates will arrive at the main conference center. Level 3. The environmental protection agreement was signed by representatives from 15 member states. حسيتكم عكمتوها هاي. Level 4, the last one. Due to recent recent developments in renewable energy technology, many countries are reconsidering their environmental policies. You didn't hear it? عشان هيك الانتربريتر needs a soundproof booth أو headphones, good headphones, yes. طيب, listen to yourselves. Listen to yourselves talking. And give me a feedback from the first sentence you did until the last sentence you did. Done? Fine. From 1 to 5, where do you put yourself in the first sentence?
-0.
First sentence. 4, 5.
4 by
4, 5. Okay. Time for the second sentence. International delegates. 2, 3.5, 3. Time. Third sentence, which is the environmental protection. 4.
-0.
-0. 1. 3.5.
The first and second. We're very firm.
Okay, good. And the fourth one. 3, 2, 2.5. طيب, which is good. يعني هاي it's due to recent development in renewable energy blah blah blah. نرسيان أنهار شاركونا.
يعني مش كثير صراحة، بس أول جملتين.
أول جملتين. Which is logical. Okay. Don't forget you're in a room that is not soundproof. You have noises all around you. Okay. Maybe you didn't hear a word correctly. All right. So yes, it could be, but it's good. All right. Good job. Right. Active listening skills component. Okay, we know that in consecutive interpreting, listening skill is very important. Okay. We are talking about active listening skill. Why is it an active skill?
Because it's during the.
It's in real time. Okay, listening is happening in real time, as well as processing, as well as speaking. Okay, time. What are the components of active listening? Focus technique. يعني, like this exercise that we did, if you were more focused, you would have heard better. Okay? Background noise filtering. That's why a simultaneous interpreter needs an isolated space, a soundproof space. Speaker accent adaptation. Do you know that a speaker may not be native while speaking English, right? Yeah. Or fluent, yes, in the language. So an interpreter needs to adapt to the accent. Okay, that's why there are training for interpreters that are related to accent training. Okay, they are exposed to different types of accents so that they can understand them. مش بس هيك some English speaking natives, they don't speak standard English, okay? They may speak Scottish English, they may speak Irish English, they may speak Australian English, New Zealandish English, South African English, okay? So they have many different accents. Okay. And speed adjustment. Some speakers speak very fast. And you have to speak as fast as they speak. And some speakers, which is good, speak slower. Okay? These are easy to follow. The speedy ones are not that easy to follow. Okay? That's why, if you remember, when we said an interpreter differs from a translator in that an interpreter needs to be native in 2 languages, while a translator needs to be native in 1 language only. Okay? طيب. Voice management. قبل شوي كان listening. How we will be talking about voice management. So, voice management essential skills. Breath control. كثير من voice أو simultaneous interpreters, they get training in the yoga breathing technique. Yes. Because the yoga breathing techniques help them when they need to speak fast or slow. Okay? Pace regulation يعني pace, the pace of the voice, نمط الصوت. Okay? Clear articulation. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it's a really nice few second clip of Morgan Freeman, الممثل. Morgan Freeman, you know, of course you know Morgan Freeman. Yes. Okay, so Morgan Freeman is one of the top actors in Hollywood that articulates his words. Okay, he doesn't speak, I don't want to say street English. Okay, he speaks correct English language. All right, so he has a video of I think like few seconds with Jimmy Campbell or Jimmy Fallon, واحد منهم. Campbell or Fallon, واحد منهم, where he asks him, how do you speak correct English? He told him that he had a coach. يعني coach مدرب. He had a coach for articulation. Okay? اللي هو how to pronounce the words or the vowels and consonant perfectly. مخارج الحروف. Yeah. Okay? So that's why he is one of the best actors that gives his voice in documentary. تقريبا yes تقريبا كل الدوكيومنتريز الجديدة اللي عم تتساوى في هوليوود هلا او في امريكا بشكل عام are مورغان فريمان فويس. اوكي طيب and voice control يعني a simultaneous interpreter needs to control how his or her voice is portrayed to others. Okay. Alright. هذا عنده محرمة. Sorry. Big mess. Big mess. Thank you. Alright. Okay. Stress management techniques. إذا عندنا شو أول شيء حكينا active listening, voice management و stress management technique. ليش stress؟
You have to remember everything that you say.
Because a simultaneous interpreter is under stress all the time from the moment he or she opens his or her mouth until the end of the interpreting task. Okay? So, what do they do to manage stress? They do breathing exercises, and this is the yoga breathing exercises. Okay? Concentration methods. تركيز. All or almost all simultaneous interpreter zone out. شو يعني zone out؟ إذا بيسرحوا بيقدروش يشتغلوا. Zone out يعني بيسكروا كل الأصوات اللي حواليهم. بيدخلوا في عالم لحالهم. أوكي؟ ما فيهوش noise. They isolate their minds. Yes. Break utilization. They go in breaks. يعني any simultaneous interpreter needs a break. Okay? So that they can recharge. And team support. هلا معظم simultaneous interpreters who work in companies, okay, or like interpreting companies, they work in team so that they can switch between interpreters during the interpreting process to decrease the stress. Okay? هلا اللي freelance interpreter, they need to work on their stress because they work alone. Okay? Yalla. How do you handle these situations? Speaker suddenly increases speed. Okay? Technical equipment fails. Unknown terminologies appear during the interpreting. Multiple speakers talk simultaneously. How do you handle these scenarios? سماعات السلام عليكم. This is a good strategy, although you will not get paid. Okay. طيب. يلا, what do you think? Speakers suddenly increases. You ask the speaker to speak slowly. Okay, but the speaker doesn't hear you. You don't have access, or you don't have connection with the speaker. Keep up with him. Okay, after the conference in private, you talk to them. Good. Yes. Technical equipment fails. Mic, your headphones, your computer. Call technical Start. Yes.
Just the emergency one.
Yes, good. There is always an emergency button in the booth. Yes, press the emergency button. What else? What did we say just a minute ago about simultaneous interpreters? If they work in a company, what do they have?
The company.
And what?
Exactly. You can use the extra equipment if there are extra equipment, or you can borrow your partner's equipment, or switch. You can ask your partner to continue in your stead. Yes, good. Unknown terminology appears.
Try to remember a sentence that is close to the meaning, close to a meaning.
One could be anticipation, one could be remembering, or trying to remember an equivalent expression. Explain.
That's
If it
Yes, ma'am.
it's not important,
If it's not, remember what we said about
we cannot,
you cannot omit, but you can find something else. You can ask your partner to find it for you, or to tell it to you. Right. Multiple speakers talk simultaneously.
It's always one interpreter to one speaker. يعني.
Okay, بس قالت لك في سيناريو إنه multiple speakers will talk at the same time. What do you do?
With the one speaker that I began with.
Exactly. You focus your interpreting to the original, or for the original speaker that you are interpreting from. Okay? Good. طيب. Use compression techniques, focus on key message, omit redundant information, summarize lengthy examples, keep essential facts. Only signal to your booth partner to request document check, ask for speed notation. Okay? ليش البارتنر معاكم؟ عشان هو يساعدكم في الكتابة إذا صار في سرعة في السبيكرز تون. 2. Switch to backup equipment, signal technician using red light, switch booth if available, use hand signals to alert organizers, let booth partner take over. Okay? Use a generalization technique, ask for partner assistant. وآخر شيء priority setting, focus on main speaker. Good. Track essential information, maintain logical flow. All of these, you guys, are done in split seconds. Okay? يعني مش إنه ماخذين وقتنا ونسأل جارنا أو اللي معنا إنه يفتش لنا هيك على السريع بدها تصير split second. Okay. Team interpreting best practices. All right. When we are in teams, what are the best practices to use? Partner support. Each partner needs to support the other partner in the booth. Okay. إذا زي ما حكينا, if there is an equipment failure, switch equipment or switch interpreter على طول. Hand over signals. Okay. I am speaking, I am interpreting, I feel dizzy, I ask my partner to switch with me. So he takes over at once, okay? Resource sharing, of course, since we are in the same booth, we are interpreting the same message, we need to share information. And the quality monitoring, all right? We need to monitor the quality of our interpreting. Remote interpreting special consideration. شو يعني remote interpreting؟ زي telephone interpreting for example. Okay. أو ممكن يكون
سماعة.
Yes, on computer, internet, interpreting. Okay? Voice over internet, interpreting. شو special consideration? We need to take care of technical setup. We need to have a good internet connection, stability. We need to have good audio quality. We need to have good visual feeds. Okay, the camera should be good. The audio equipment should be good. The microphone, the headphones, everything should be of good quality. That's why simultaneous interpreters that works remotely لأن عادة اللي بيشتغلوا في الconferences أو في settings الكبيرة they don't bring their equipment. Equipment are brought for them. Okay? ولكن a personal interpreter or a freelance interpreter needs to make available all of the technological equipments that he or she needs to use, and they should be of high quality. Okay? Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. Can you repeat? What did you say? هيك حيضلوا طول الوقت هيك. All right? So they need to have good equipment. Almost finally, quality assessment criteria حكينا for any type of translation, whether it's written translation or simultaneous translation, quality is always required. Exactly. It's always number one. All right. So quality, what does it entails? It entails accuracy to provide the information. Okay. اللي هي الدقة. Completeness حكينا شو يا بيان؟ Completeness. Complete thoughts. Exactly. Fluency. All right. Is one of the quality quality criteria. Timing in delivering the interpreting is very important because you are limited by time. Okay. And professional conduct. شو يعني professional conduct؟ يعني ما تعملوا زي ياسمين omit everything move on. Okay. In an interpreting setting. Alright, ليش اللي مش فاهمينه طنشوا وامشوا. Okay. So you have to be professional in delivering your interpreting task. قال بشيل السماعة وبقول لهم باي باي وبروح. اوكي؟ طيب professional development pathway. شو هي الباثوي؟ شو الباثوي؟ الطريق للتطور في ال simultaneous interpreting اللي بده يكمل في هذا المجال. You need to acquire certification. Okay, شهادات. Exactly. There are lots of important certification for simultaneous interpreters. Specialization, you need to be specialized in something. An interpreter is not capable of interpreting something he is not specialized or she is not specialized in. Yes, exactly. وحتى there are some interpreters that are specialized in a specialization. Okay?
Wow.
Yes. For example, in the medical field, some interpreters are specialized in the field of, let's say, terminal ill cancer patients or terminally ill patients. For law, for example, there are interpreters that are specialized in criminal law only. Okay? So you need to specialize yourself in a field. Networking, one of the most important fields in our points in any job, okay, is networking. The more networking you have, the better specialized you will be, okay? And continuous learning. تعرفوا إن الواحد بضل يتعلم لآخر عمره. فبالتالي any simultaneous interpreter needs continuous learning. All right, practice, practice, practice. مش بس practice. You need to educate yourself every way of your life. Okay? All right. Yeah. News headline hot seat. Open your phone recording. Again, yes. Behind each of these cards, there is a news headline. When I click on it, you will have 30 seconds to interpret the headline. Okay? 30 seconds and I will close it. يلا. تقدر تشوفي من هون، تعالي هون. عايشة انت خلقة بتشوفيش من هون. انا رايحة بعيد. طب ذكروا البرادة. هيك منيح. يلا. 30 seconds you guys. 1, 2, 3. يلا. Go. It is a hot seat, you guys. Go. بالعربي يا بيان، بالعربي. يلا. اوكي. اوكي. يلا. الترجمة بالعربي بيان مش بالانجليزي. يلا. I will do it for you again. خلينا نشوفهم. اوكي يلا last one. طيب. Okay, it's fine. Let's do it again. طيب. يلا let's do this. Ready? يلا go. Ready? Go. Ready? Go. انجليزي عم تحكي يا بيان. حكينا interpret in Arabic. All right. يلا go. Ready? Go. go. Yalla, last one. Ready? Go. I know it's hard. Tahir, hear yourself. Listen back to what you said or what you translated.
مش عارف مالها.
So, how was your interpreting?
Very bad. Big zero. Hilarious. I'm gone. Sleep.
But you guys, this is a good exercise for you to do at home, okay? So that you learn to speed interpret.
It takes me 10 seconds to remember what is the words.
That's why you need to read and interpret at the same time. Okay. Yalla. Medical terms interpreting. All right. So record your interpreting. I will show you words. Okay. And you will interpret them on the spot. Easy, easy. You know them all. All right, yalla. Ready? Steady. Go. Cough. Yes. خلاص. Fatigue. Fatigue. Hypertension. يعني توتر عالي. طيب. Allergy. حساسية. Fever. Headache. Nausea. غثيان. Dizziness. دوخة. cough. سعال. sore throat. ايه؟ التهاب حلق. stomach ache. عشان دواء فتيج. إرهاق. شايفين إنه سهلين؟ Okay, last one. Oh, before last. Okay, you will still be open. opening your app, okay, you will hear the record playing once. So hear it, okay? The recording will play a second time now, interpret it. So you will hear it first, and then you will interpret it. It's a weather report, okay? That has specific terminologies, no? This is not consecutive, it's simultaneous. نحن نخليكم تسمعوها مرة أصلا. All right, يلا. Let's hear it. I think إنه أنا رفعته آخر شيء. Yes. ليش الأدوات
لا مش بالأول.
لا أول شيء اسمعيها بعدين بالترجمة.
بس عليه لا
Tomorrow we'll see scattered showers in the morning with a high of 22 degrees Celsius. Wind speeds will reach 15 to 20 miles per hour from the northwest. Humidity levels will remain at 65%. 2. Expect scattered thunderstorms today with a high of 28 degrees Celsius. Humidity levels at 70% and light winds at 8 to 10 miles per hour. Evening temperatures will drop to 18 degrees Celsius. 3. Clear skies throughout the day with moderate UV levels. High temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and a low of 13 degrees Celsius. No precipitation expected. 4. Heavy snow expected overnight with accumulation of 10 to 15 centimeters. Morning temperatures at -4 degrees Celsius. Strong winds may cause drifting snow and reduced visibility. 5. Partly cloudy morning turning into a sunny afternoon. High of 21 degrees Celsius. Light breeze from the southeast at 5 to 7 miles per hour. Perfect conditions for outdoor activities. 6. Coastal fog in the morning clearing by 10 a.m. Humidity at 85%, temperatures reaching 20 degrees Celsius.
We'll do only the first two. You do the others at home. Okay? هلا. I will start the interpreting. You do the first two. 1, 2. Okay? Ready? Go.
Tomorrow we'll see scattered showers in the morning with a high of 22 degrees Celsius. Wind speeds will reach 15 to 20 miles per hour from the northwest. Humidity levels will remain at 65%. 2. Expect scattered thunderstorms today with a high of 28 degrees Celsius. Humidity levels at 70% and light winds at 8 to 10 miles per hour. Evening temperatures will drop to 18 degrees Celsius. 3.
Yalla, hear yourself and tell me how do you rate yourself? First one and the second one. Okay, from 1 to 5, the first sentence. How do you rate yourself? 2? 0? 1? ليش? The first one was easy to interpret. Okay, yes, numbers. You could have missed the numbers. طيب, from 1 to 5, the second one with the wind and thunderstorms. 1, because there are lots of numbers, right? And percentages. Yes. Yes. طيب, the last one that we will do is an announcement, okay? You will speak simultaneously with the voice in English. You remember shadow interpreting?
Yes.
Okay? And then, after you do the shadow interpreting in English, you will translate it into Arabic, okay?
Dynamic music.
shadow interpret it in English. احكي شو اللي بيحكيه بعدين بتترجمه للعربي. اوكي؟ لا وانتم عم تسمعوا. اول شيء عشان تشوفوا انكم عم بتلحقوا بنفس اللغة، بعدين اذا عم بتلحقوا بالترجمة. alright يلا.
Due to unexpected reasons, all elevators will be out of service for the next 2 hours. Please use the stairs located at both ends of each floor. We apologize for any inconvenience.
We apologize for any inconvenience, you guys. طيب. alright now. Okay, just hear yourself in English أول شيء. Did you follow it?
No.
What did you miss?
All of it.
It's shadow interpreting.
Wow, we saw the we saw someone and saw the accent. And everyone is speaking.
Okay. So now do the shadow interpreting in Arabic. Okay? Ready? Go.
Due to unexpected maintenance, all elevators will be out of service for the next 2 hours. Please use the stairs located at both ends of each floor. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Okay, hear yourself in Arabic. We apologize for any inconvenience. نأسف لأي إزعاج.
Due to unexpected maintenance,
Remember that you need to speak in traditional Arabic, you guys. Huh? All right, you guys. Good job. Thank you for being here today. And I will see you for our last class next week. Okay? في عندنا. Yeah.
Which one?